Hola, aquí estamos. Here we are, Señora Carlson y mis estudiantes. Welcome to instructional video número 4 as you prepare for study plan section 2. At the end of this video, you will be ready to go into that next study plan section. Bravo! What will you be learning in this particular video? Well, vocabulario, los números de 0 a 31, numbers from 0 to 31. Let's start with an overview. Maybe a lot of you know these numbers. You hear them, on programs even as a youngster. So let's just do a run through of the numbers and then we'll get into a little bit more of the specifics. Repita, cero, cero, uno, uno, dos, dos, tres, tres, cuatro, cuatro, cinco, cinco. Be careful with these vowels, okay? A, E, I, O, U. Maybe you've said these numbers over and over since you were little, and maybe you've mispronounced them over and over. Please listen to my pronunciation and try to say it like you're a minor bird, like you're parroting me, okay? A, E, I, O, U. Be really specific about these vowels. Let's continue. Seis, seis, siete, siete, ocho, ocho, nueve, nueve, diez, diez. So the first 10 numbers, let's just take a closer look at them. And repita, por favor. Cera, cero, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, diez. And let's point out a few things. Cero, good cognate, close to 0. Uno, you can almost see 1 in there, can't you? Dos, you can think of a duo, starts with D. Tres, you can think of a trio, starts with TR. Cuatro, you can think of a quart, a quarter, cuatro, 4. Quarters, somebody's quarters are 4 walls. Cinco, you can think of, let's see, what do we have roots that are cinco? Seis, if you look at an S, seis has an S in it, like 6. Siete has the T in it, 7. So 6 is a shorter number than 7. Siete, the one with the T, is the longer number, 7. Siete, 6, seis. Ocho, like an octagon, 8 sides. Octopus, 8 arms. Nueve, 9. Novenas, I think you say 9, right? Diez is 10. So I think everybody's pretty familiar with that batch. Let's move on. Repita. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. Let's say those 5 together. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. What do you notice about these 5? What do they all end in? Yep, se, 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 se. This is a batch that all end in that se. So let's say them and really enunciate that se so it helps with your memory. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. Go ahead, try it. Say them together with me. Let's go. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. Good. And let's take a look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco. And look how these compare. Once, uno, once. You can see a little bit of a connection there. Uno, the UN, the ON. Dos, doce. That S changes to a C. Dos, doce. Trece, that S changes to a C. Tres, trece. Cuatro, a little bit of a change around there. The cuat changes to a catorce, the qua to a ca, cuatro, catorce. And cinco starts with a C, but when we get into 15, quince. So you can think 15 is a very keen number, quince, quince. So let's say that batch one more time. Say them with me. Once, doce, trece, catorce, quince. Bravo. Let's move on. So would this be seis, siete, ocho? No. Take a look. Repita. 16. 16. 17. 17. 18. 18. 19. 19. Notice there's one that we're noting now that has an accent over that E in 16. Let's take a closer look at this batch. I want you to notice something. What's happening here is you're actually saying for these numbers 10 and 6, 10 and 7, 10 and 8, 10 and 9. The ways that you're noticing on the bottom are actual ways that you can spell these words, 10 and 6, 10 and 7, but it's a little cumbersome in speaking. 16, 17, 18, but you could say that. It's more customary to see the contraction. Look what happens here. The Z disappears, is replaced by a C. And you remember that in luz? Luces, the plural, Z changes to C. What about pencil? Lapis, lapises, the Z changes to C. So this Z comes out, changes to C. And then the Y, instead of the Y, it's cumbersome in the middle of a word, it changes to I. So you can actually transfer this into one long word. But this is still saying 10 and 6. 10 and 7. So let's say them in the more customary way. Repita, 16. 17, 18, 19. There you have it. What about 20? ¿Cómo se dice 20? Repita, 20. 20. And make sure you hear the A, because this is spelled E-I, not I-E. Students are tempted to write I-E, but that would be veinte. Veinte, that's not how it's pronounced. It's veinte. It's not I before E like in English. The E comes first. Repita, veinte. Veinte. 21. Repita, 21. 22. 23. 24. 25. 26. 27. 28, 29. Now notice the words that are stressed, that have an accent at the end. It's because this is a single syllable word. So to hear the dos, you have to accent it at the end, or the natural stress, because it ends in S, would fall here. 22 needs an accent. 23 needs an accent. If it weren't accented, it would be 22. 23, and that's wrong. And seis, because it's actually a single syllable word, needs to be stressed as well, 26. So what's happening here? Well, once again, this is a contraction, 20 and 1, 20 and 2, 20 and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You could write it this way, you could say it this way, 21, 20, 22. But it's cumbersome, so the customary way is to do the contraction. So look what happens here. The E disappears, the Y disappears, and in place of these two letters, we have an I. 21, 22. So repita por favor, 20, 21, 22, 23. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Which comes first, I or E? E. Okay, it's not a rule that we follow like in English. We have a couple more. ¿Cómo se dice 30? Repita, 30. 30. Notice what comes first. The E, not the I. It's not 30, it's 30. And how do you think you would say 31? 31. So the 20s are the only numbers of the 10s, 20, 30, 40, up to 90, that contract, that do this contraction business. All the rest are going to be longhand, right? 31. So you could imagine, how would you say 32? 32, 33, etc. Muy bien. You're going to see a number appear and see if you can call it out. La práctica con los números. In a moment, a number will appear. Say the number in Spanish. Try to say the number before you hear the correct pronunciation. Beat the speaker, that's me, before the next number appears. 8. 19. 6. 31. 4. Careful. It's one that ends in se. It's a very keen number. 15. Quince. 15. 27. Or you could say 27. 2. 25 or 25. 9. 16 or 16. 0. Careful, this is the one that ends in se. There are 5 of them. 14. 14. Catorce. 13. 5. 30. 12. 17. 17 or 17. 3. 1. 28 or 28. La práctica, el número de teléfono. Let's put this to use now. Practice asking and answering. ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? What do you think that means? You got it. Which is your phone number? Interesting, because in Spanish they'll say which is instead of what is. They will use the interrogative, the question word cuál. ¿Cuál? Which is your phone number? And you could respond by saying mi número es, my number is. And then you would simply say your phone number. So let's practice. And if it's appropriate, you can bunch a couple of numbers together. If they're numbers from 0 to 31, you could bunch a few together. So ask me my phone number. I'm listening for the question. Mi número es 7 16 5 7 2 13 9 0. So I said 7 16 5 7 2 13 9 0. There were a couple that I could bunch together. So let me ask you, and you can say them in individual numbers if you would like, or you could bunch something together if it comes together as a number from 0 to 31. So I'll pretend I'm listening. ¿Cuál es tu número de teléfono? Muy bien, and I hope you could answer that. Bravo! Es el fin de instructional video número 4. You are now ready for study plan section 2 en la clase. And let's just do a quick recap of how you find your study plan. You click on weekly modules. You simply click on the module that is located at the top of the screen. You get into the study plan. You've already watched these instructional videos. Good for you. You have accomplished everything for section 2. Double check at the top. Once you're in the study plan, you've already accessed why it matters and show what you know at the top. You did that before section 1. And you're ready to dive into the study plan section 2. When you click on En la clase, you will see the drop-down box. Simply click on the first item and it will take you through screen to screen, items 2, 3, 4, and into 5. It'll go right through. Please remember the all-important self-check at the end. And take your time going through that self-check. Double check your answers. If you got something wrong, read why it's wrong. Select an answer that you would think would be more appropriate. And please repeat that self-check until you come up with bravo, well done. All right? So you know you're doing the best you can to learn your material. El fin, buen trabajo y hasta pronto. Good work and see you soon. I will see you for instructional video 5 as you prepare for study plan section 3. Adios, mis estudiantes.